Good morning and welcome back. Now, the game that's taken the lead as the fastest growing sport in the U.S. and now on the rise, even going pro, is here to tell us about the sensation of pickleball and what it takes is founder of Major League Pickleball, Stephen Kuhn. Stephen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Well, I was over here practicing my swing. I don't know if it's a little bit of an underhand here. You're going to go across. Steve, how have you been handling this growing popularity and recognition? Jennifer, to recap, last hour we talked about inflation hitting a 40-year high at 8.6%. However, a recent survey showed more than 3/4 of chief financial officers expect the U.S. to go through a recession during the first half of next year. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says she doesn't expect the U.S. to actually tip into a recession. What are your thoughts here? It's not sustainable here. I mean, the federal minimum wage is $7.25. There's parts of California where gas is more than that, almost $8, specifically in Northern California. I mean, people want relief here. That seems pretty obvious. I don't think anybody wants to be paying more for anything that we're buying. But with the policies we're currently seeing, is that possible at all in short term? Going to be representing America at the Olympics coming up here in just about a month. What is this journey like to get to the trials when it comes to training your day to day? So when you go through it, it does say strawberries before it says pears and apples. However, you have both pears and apples in there. So are those combined going to be more than strawberries? And the man that's filing this lawsuit, his whole thing is he usually does stuff like this. I think I read he's filed about 400 food-related lawsuits. He just wants food companies to be honest.
Right.
You know, and we should be able to ask questions to be able to get all the information we need to make the best decisions for ourselves or the best decisions with our doctors like you. But doctor, one of the things I want to point out is we're speaking about a COVID surge in fall. And we've also heard this term, you know, pandemic and the end of a pandemic with Dr. Anthony Fauci even said. But can you kind of explain, you know, pandemic versus endemic? Now, like we just said, inflation hitting a 4-decade high here. Americans are paying more for everything: food, gas, cereal, dairy. We just had a graphic showing some of this. Mark, what needs to be done to stop inflation? And that, you know, we're going to have to buckle down for the long run here. And you mentioned these gas prices, they're not expected to come down. Janet Yellen saying she doesn't expect them to come down. But she was also asked her thoughts on recession. Take a listen. You know, Joel, not only when it comes to traveling and capping airspeed here, a little personal story. My dad, he's a contractor. And one of the things we're seeing is, you know, the effect inflation and gas prices is having on small businesses. He has equipment. He has to run trucks. And I was speaking to him and he was mentioning how his costs, they're doubling, if not more. So what can small businesses do? How do they compete in this market with these rising prices? But who decides why gas prices go up and up? Well, it's not one person, company, or government, with one gas price expert breaking it down into 4 basic factors: distribution and marketing, refining, federal and state taxes and fees, and the greatest influence here is the price of oil. Ukraine. You know, one thing I want to touch on real quick here that we're just getting news alerts about is Putin actually ordered deterrence forces, which includes nuclear arms.
Yeah, well, he's put them on alert.
Forces move further into the country, troops entering more cities, and joining us now is Ruslana Danasyuk, who is sheltering in place there. Ruslana, how are you feeling? I cannot imagine what it is like to be in your situation right now and to be able to hear those aircraft flying above. You know, Ukraine has held its ground and Russia is planning to up its game. Do you think Ukraine is receiving enough international support? But the price of gas hitting a national average price of $5 per gallon. And one of the things I noticed that we're seeing in headlines is several schools and workplaces are now implementing virtual Fridays to help students and employees save gas because it's so expensive to get to work where they're making money. Jennifer, will the price of gas force us back to working from home? So virtual sewing lessons there. There's some of the beauty of, you know, what Zoom provided us during the pandemic. But one of the things, too, what are these tiny hugs made out of? I think it's only fair. We got to do the Vulcan greeting over here. Can you do it as well?
I can't do it. I was trying it in the makeup room. I can't do it. You can do it, right?
I can.
Oh, my gosh.
This
You're
is my
talented.
hello, everyone. Vulcan greeting to all the Star Trek fans.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Amanda.